What's going on, Steeler Nation? This is the Hawk coming at you here. This is going to be my first uploaded video. I wanted to do a pregame before the game started. As you can see, it's 5 o'clock. I'm already sporting the gear. Got the towel out, ready to go. Touch a little bit on AB, and then we'll move on to the pregame stuff with the injuries, who might be sitting out. Let's talk about AB a little bit. I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be frustrated and furious. Look, we all know what AB is. We don't need to get all hyped up and think, oh my God, we got screwed. Look, we got a third and a fifth out of them. We had a good draft this year. I don't think there's any reason or cause for concern. He hasn't been there for training camp. He hasn't been with the Steelers since the end of last season. So he doesn't have any new information that he'd be able to give to the Patriots that they don't already know. Okay, so he's not going to be able to affect us on that standpoint. And if we're looking at this from a player perspective on what he can do to help them, what better team in the NFL other than the Steelers is going to be able to game plan best around him? Think about it like this. Pittsburgh drafted him, molded him, brought him up from his humble beginnings. We know all of his tendencies. He's practiced against the same guys we got on the field on defense that know him in and out. And believe it or not, we heard in the past that Artie Burns did really, really well in training camp whenever he was up against the AB. So we also have somebody on the roster that knows how to guard him, knows his tendencies, knows how to keep him in check. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to win every single one of those battles or he can do that without help. All I'm saying is there is no team in the NFL that is more prepared to plan against AB than the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I think everybody just needs to calm down. Nobody needs to panic or freak out. First off, he's not going to be there in week one. He can't even be on the sidelines tonight. He's not going to be active on their roster until tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So nobody needs to be freaking out about this. The only time that we're going to see him is in the playoffs. And quite frankly, in my opinion, what I think is going to happen, he's going to implode and do nothing but cause a bunch of disruption. I mean, think about what he did to Ben over the course of the last 3 seasons specifically. Forcing Big Ben to throw needless interceptions. I mean, how many times have we screamed at the TV thinking, my God, why did you just throw that, Ben? Well, now we have a better perspective of it, thinking, okay, well, he probably threw that ball because AB's been bitching at him for the last 3 or 4 plays saying, give me the ball, give me the ball. So now he's going to be doing it to Tom Brady. So me personally, I think this is going to implode. I don't think this is one of the smartest things Belichick's ever done. You know what? I don't even hope it works out. I pray to God that it implodes. That's only going to be good for us long term. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Good luck, AB. I hope your feet get better and you just trash the crap out of the only team I think has any chance of giving us a problem this season. Oh, by the way, how about them Cleveland Browns? They're going to win the division, aren't they? Oh my God, that team was horrible today. I hope everybody. I know it's week one. I know it's week one, and we still don't know what's going to happen with the Steelers tonight. I'm still really, really excited about seeing what the defense does against Brady and their offense. But I mean, come on, you can't. It's got to put a smile on every Steelers fan's face seeing the Browns get absolutely trounced by a team that's not going anywhere this year. I mean, that was horrible. On the opposite side of things, too, we watched Baltimore today. They absolutely embarrassed Miami. I don't know. You can tell me in the comments down there what you think of if that was the real Baltimore or that was just a god-awful Miami team. I know Baltimore's quarterback. I don't even know his name by heart yet because I think he's trash. I know he had 3 touchdowns, and they put up like 390 yards, I think it was, 390 something yards in the first half. I mean, my God, either Miami is just absolute garbage, or Baltimore is better than we thought they were going to be. You know, so we'll see where that goes. As far as the game tonight with Pittsburgh and the Patriots, the one thing that I want to see tonight, out of everything, is I want to see our defense shine. I want to see Devin Bush on the field causing havoc, making tackles. You know, if the Patriots try to pick up where they left off last season, they're going to be running the ball. They're going to be strong in running the ball. They're not going to try and air it out too much. They're going to try and establish the run game, go off of the play action, which is what they did late last season. You know, that's where they started forming up. That's what they went into the playoffs with. That's what they won the Super Bowl with. So I think that they're going to pick up where they left off, or at least attempt to. We'll see. But I'm really, really excited to see what this Steelers defense did. In the preseason, we saw it. We saw it briefly with the starters, you know, and periodically when they did have a couple of the starters in, but we can't deny what we saw. You know, the eye test doesn't lie. That defense is fast. I mean, fast. From our starters all the way back to our third string guys, even the guys that aren't on the team anymore that got cut, they were moving. Specifically, which I was very, very happy to see, Sean Davis before he got injured. He looked really good before the injury. I know he's not going to be playing tonight, but you know, he looked absolutely stunning. Terrell Davis, I think, is going to be the standout of this year. If you remember back when we drafted Palomalu, you know, his rookie season he showed flashes, but he wasn't off the charts. You know, he wasn't the Palomalu we would come to know and love. You know, he wasn't flying all over the field. He showed a couple of flashes of athleticism and hard hitting, but he didn't. In 03, he didn't really stand out. You know, but when you moved to 04, you started to see where the Steelers saw moving up in the draft to get him, why they wanted to get him. You know, he was instinctually moving around. He was moving to the ball, making plays. 04, his second season, he stepped out of his shell because he was able to react faster. You know, he knew the plays, he knew the defensive scheme. He was able to read and react faster instead of thinking about what he's supposed to be doing. I think in the preseason, we saw that with Terrell Edmunds. I think we saw that with Terrell Edmunds a lot in the preseason. You saw him reading and reacting versus thinking. Now, last season, he didn't do a horrible job, but he was more, you know, you didn't hear his name called. He was just in the right positions. I think he was a smart player that he didn't try to do too much. He just tried to do whatever it is that the assignment was supposed to be. During the preseason, what you saw him do was reading and reacting. Fast, getting to the ball, moving to where the ball was being placed or thrown. I think he is going to be the standout guy on this defense. Now, I know Devin Bush is going to be big, but keep your eyes on Terrell Edmunds. He might have a big breakout season this year, and that's my prediction. That's it. I'm not even going to call it a bold prediction. I think year number 2 for Terrell Edmunds, we are going to see a monster of strong safety in that man. Like I said, Sean Davis is going to be out with an injury. Cameron Kelly, who didn't, honestly, I guess people that were watching him in the preseason and saw him in training camp, you know, they're saying that he was good. You know, he worked his way to the roster, which is great for him. He's not Sean Davis, and I'm here to tell you right now, if you're expecting him to come out with, you know, a sack, a forced fumble, 2 interceptions, you know, 10 tackles, if you're thinking going into this game, you know, he had a really good preseason and a good training camp, and he's just going to own the Patriots. This is Tom Brady we're talking about here. Let's not kid ourselves. If he can go into this game and just hold the fort, kind of do what I was just talking about with Terrell Edmunds last season, don't do too much, just do your job, hold the fort down, and don't get caught out of position, I think we'll be fine. But if anybody's expecting him just to be the free safety that's going to be the future apparent to Sean Davis, ease the brakes a little bit. Let's see how he does against Brady. The most that I really want to see out of him is just don't be out of position, don't get caught out of position, don't do anything stupid. So that's all I'd really want to see from him. But the rest of this defense, guys, let's get ready for that front seven. Let's get ready. I don't even think that they're going to blitz a lot tonight. I think that the Steelers are going to feel like they can get home with the front four. I really do. I think you're going to see them in sub-package football more than you're going to see them in base. And I think that you're going to see them getting home with the front four, which is exactly how you beat Brady. You don't beat Brady with the blitz. You beat him with the front four. Okay? You get home to him with the front four. And this is honestly the first year that I'm of the opinion, I honestly think that we have a strong enough front four. That, the front seven just, is monstrous. Let's not kid ourselves. I think anybody that's not saying that this can potentially be a top 5, maybe top 3 defense this year is kidding themselves. I really do think that this defense is going to be special. But I do think that, TJ Watt going into year 3, Bud Dupree had a really good preseason. I'm not putting a lot of chips into his stock. It's preseason. But if he's in a contract year, if he's motivated enough, have him on the front line. I think the defense is versatile enough and has enough talent to be able to rotate the guys in, especially in sub-package football, and get home with the front four. We'll see tonight if that's what's going to happen, but I think that we can actually do that. If they can get home with the front four, have enough back in coverage to be able to cover for those quick, 3-step drops that Brady likes to do. Get him out of his element, force him to get out of the pocket. It's easier said than done, but everybody knows the formula to beat that offense. Gronkowski's not there. Antonio Brown's not going to be there tonight. DeMarcus Thomas, even if he plays, he's going to be a game-time decision. But even if he plays, he's injured. So we don't know how effective he's even going to be in the game. Josh Gordon is Josh Gordon. Now, everybody wants to beef on him, but look, he's had the whole offseason and the preseason to work with Tom Brady. I think he's going to do much better this season with Tom Brady, and he didn't do that bad last year with him. So that's definitely going to be a problem, but everybody knows what the formula is to beat Tom Brady. He's been doing this for 20 years, 21 years, 22 years, whatever the hell it is. He needs to retire already. Everybody knows what the formula is, but this year, particularly going into this game, I think we really do have the front four to be able to execute that formula and make it happen. We were able to do it last year with Gronkowski on the field. I really think that we can do it specifically with him off the field. We shouldn't have any problems with it, especially with Devin Bush on the field. Let's not count out the acquisitions this year. Mark Barron was huge. I mean, yes, we got Devin Bush, but he is a rookie. Okay, he's going to see the field tonight. He's probably going to play a big role in their defensive scheme tonight. But Mark Barron, I think, is what's going to make this defense work. He can be in a base 3-4 defense with Devin Bush, and that still is enough to be able to stop the run. They're not thumpers like Vince Williams, but they don't have to be. We have thumpers on the front line, especially if we're in the base. We got Hargrave, Tuitt, and Cameron Hayward. Just the three of them, oh my God, our front seven is going to be nasty. If we're caught in the base and we have Mark Barron and Devin Bush on the field, usually in the past, what our Achilles heel is because we can't drop back in coverage. Our linebackers can't cover the tight ends whenever they got 2 tight end or even 1 tight end sets from New England. Guess what? Mark Barron and Devin Bush can both cover. So if we get caught in base and they're both on the field, that's a strength. Not only do we have enough to be able to stop the run that's in there in a 3-4 base, we definitely have the speed to be able to cover whatever they got in a single or double tight end set. Which I don't think they're going to be running a lot of doubles tonight because they got a lot of injuries, and I think they only got one real tight end that's playing tonight. But I'm telling you guys, the defense is going to shine, and I'm looking really forward to it. If I'm wrong, it's going to be kind of disappointing because I've been looking forward to this all summer. The high point, I know everybody's talking about the offense and what's going to happen without AB. I think our strength this year is going to be the defense, and it's going to be the defense that we've been hoping and praying for the last 3 or 4 years. You know, what we've been looking for since the 2010 season, you know, and before. A defense that's actually dominant. You know, that is my bold prediction, I guess, for the season, is to say that it is a top 3 defense. But we'll see. We'll see. Offensively, by the way, other than Sean Davis, we're healthy as can be on the defense. Offensively, you know, everybody's been talking about it. It's not going to be any different. You know, we got Juju Smith-Schuster at number 1. We're going to have James Washington as the number 2. I really want to see what Dante Moncrief is. I know everybody's talking about James Washington and what he's going to be doing downfield. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what Moncrief does downfield. You know, you haven't really heard his name other than that fumble. My God, man, what a rough start in the black and gold for Moncrief. I mean, that. But we moved on. We're out of preseason. We're to the real thing. I actually think that Moncrief, at least in this game, is going to be more of a focal point than Washington is. I'm not saying Washington's going to have a bad game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is I think Moncrief is actually going to get more touches and more opportunities whenever they go into 3 and 4 wide receiver sets. Just because even though the Patriots' number 1 and number 2 corners are good, their number 3 and their number 4 are no names. They're not that good. And the their number 1 and number 2 corners, they're good in press. They're not good in zone. So if they're going to be pressing Juju and Washington the whole game, that's going to leave Moncrief open, especially in the seams. If they don't move Juju around too much. So I would definitely look for Moncrief to have a decent game. I also want to see Vance McDonald in this. You know, AB's not on the team anymore. So you don't have the diva receiver in Ben's ear every play, excuse me, saying, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. Really the thing that I want to see from the offense is balance. I want to see a good rotation. Now I know, let's not kid ourselves. We know Mike Tomlin, we know what he is. He likes running the wheels off of the number 1 back. Connor's going to get his touches. But I would like to see Jalen Samuels get in for a couple of touches as well. I'd like to see a good rotation. I'd like to see Jalen Samuels in on a couple of pass plays. Don't make it so obvious if James is out there, we could be running or passing. I want him to be able to establish that if Samuels is out there, we could be running and passing. I want to see Ben, you know, move the ball in different directions. If by the end of the game, Ben targets, you know, has 220 passing yards for a touchdown and targeted 8 different receivers, and we have 140 rushing yards split between Samuels and Connor, or like, you know, a 70-30 split and 2 touchdowns, and we come out with the victory, that should be the formula for the entire season. Not just, let's beat the Patriots. That's the formula that should be used every single game. And I guarantee you, we will win more games than not with that formula. But again, it's game 1. It's week 1. I would just like to see balance on the offense. They don't need to come out and put up 500 yards and 6 touchdowns. I'm not going to argue if that's the case as long as we win. But we have seen Ben come out and throw 500 yards and 6 touchdowns against the Patriots. You know, maybe not those exact numbers, but you get what I'm saying. And we lose. So, you know, maybe not 6 touchdowns, but you get my point. The point I'm trying to make is it means nothing, and it's been like that for years. It means nothing if you score 30 plus points and you still lose the game. That's why I'm looking forward to the defense. You know, you can put a lot of different formulas in there and say, well, if we score more than 30 points, but our defense is what it's supposed to be, it's not going to matter. That's correct. But I would still just like to see balance on the offense. You know, we predicated, you know, getting high-scoring offense. Look, we've got a good defense. If our defense does its job, our offense doesn't need to score 30 points a game. You know, we would like to see it, but ball control, clock management, being smart, keep the Patriots out of the end zone like we did last year in the game at Hines. We should win. But like I said, it's week 1. Let's see how it goes. Injury front-wise, again, Sean Davis is the only one that's going to be out. He's listed as doubtful, but we know he's not going to be playing. Like I said earlier, let's not put too much on Cameron Kelly's shoulders. Let's, you know, just do his job. Don't get caught out of position. We'll be fine. Excuse me. New England, one of their tight ends is questionable. Matt Lacasse. I'm going to butcher this guy's name. Their safety, Obi Melifonwu. Oh, my God. He's questionable for the game. He's going to be a game-time decision. And Demaryius Thomas is questionable. He's going to be a game-time decision as well. So, relatively speaking, New England's coming into this pretty healthy. I doubt that any of those 3 are going to play tonight. If any of the 3 play, it's going to be Matt Lacasse, however you pronounce that. But I really don't think that Demaryius is going to play. If he does, he's going to be very limited in the game. So I really don't know how much they game planned with him in their offensive production for this game. If he does play, he's not going to be a factor. Other than that, it's cut and dry, man. Steelers, Patriots. Here we go. We've been waiting for week 1 this entire offseason. I'm ready to get it going. As you can see, I'm ready to go. Leave comments in the below what you think of my predictions, what I think about the offense, what I think about the defense. Excuse me. This is my first video upload. I hope I did all right for you guys. I'm going to be doing a post-game analysis afterwards. I can tell you right now, I am a very, very spirited Steeler fan. So if we lose, or it's another Jesse James drop type of loss, I'm probably not going to be this happy and excited. There might be a few F-bombs dropped. So I don't know. My wife told me if I'm going to do videos, I can't cuss. So I'm gonna try to keep the cussing to a minimum. But if it's a win, I'm probably gonna be happy and excited and freaking out just with everybody else. But anyway, leave in the comments what you think. If I'm wrong, if you have a different opinion, I'm totally open for discussion. If you guys leave comments, hit the like and subscribe buttons so I can start getting a following. I'd like to do more of these videos. I think this is going to be fun. My wife wanted me to do them last season because I talk a lot, especially about the Steelers. She figured, stop talking to me, start talking to other people. So I wanted to get out there and do something fun. If I see any comments or you guys got any questions or anything that you guys would like me to add into this, I'll definitely answer them. I'll keep up with them. But let me know what you guys think. Guys, Steeler Nation, week 1, here we go. I'll see you guys in a little bit.